She's the most stupid Asian I've ever seen. That was the comment from one of my classmates when I first came to the United States to study. It was an early Monday morning in Bible class. And when our teacher asked us to rephrase one of the verses in Romans 8, which I have no idea what verse it was now, but he specifically asked us to tear off the French part of the paper. But back then, because of my poor English ability, I had no idea about what the word French meant. So it turned out that my paper was the only one that had the French on the side dangling, and that was embarrassing. But when he called me up front to tear it off, that's when I heard the comment from the crowd. And I put on a smile, pretending nothing has happened, and you know what, I just carry on, but secretly in my heart, I unleashed a monster. A monster that followed me for the next 4 years. A monster that controlled every decision I made and all the emotions that I had. A monster called insecurity. I can still remember the first time I received my transcript in English after my first midterm. I looked down at the grades I got and felt like there's no way I'm gonna make through my journey in the United States. The insecurity monster told me, Gabby, you're the most stupid Asian ever. There's no way you're gonna get into an American college and continue your education. And I was. But thankfully, a church in Seattle reached out to me and said they were willing to sponsor me for the next 3 years of education in the United States. So they found a school in Seattle for me. And I went there, but the school did not provide housing for students. So I had to be paired up with a host family. And the host family my church found me was a Chinese lady, so I stayed with her the following year. When we started to embrace each other as family members and feel like we're gonna make great things happen in the next 3 years, I went back home for my first summer break in China. And it was a bright summer afternoon on the way back from my grandma's birthday party. I received a text message from her saying, Gabby, I'm so sorry I cannot be your husband next year. My husband's moving back and there's not enough room in my house. Oh, and the insecurity monster came out and said, Gabby, go back to the United States, pack your bags, and move back to China. Your journey is done. And I was scared. But thankfully, the church found another host family for me. So this was an elder couple. So I signed the contract 2 weeks before school started and moved everything on the first day of school. But 2 months after I moved in, my host mom had a stroke. Just watching her having difficulties getting up and down the stairs, in and out of the hospital, or even just to see how much her personality changed after her stroke was really difficult for me when I was balancing 5 AP classes at the same time. When she finally told me that, Gabby, the journey for me to be your host family is over. And that's the moment the insecurity monster came out again and said, Gabby, look at yourself. This is the end. And I was scared. But thankfully, another host family reached out to me and said, Gabby, you can stay with us. So I moved everything in and was ready for a new journey. But it didn't take long for me to realize their problems. My host mom had long-term struggle with depression and anxiety disorder, and my host dad was a newly sober alcoholic. Living with them was not the most comfortable situation. My host mom would always worry that I would break down something in the house, so she would constantly invade my privacy. And the insecurity monster came out again and said, Gabby, wherever you go, you're gonna mess up the situation. Wherever you go, you cannot fit in. And I was scared. But thankfully, the church found another host family for me. And this time, it was an older Taiwanese couple. They embraced me as one of the young adults out in the world. They respected me. They provided all the amazing Chinese food for me. But they don't really have much experience about the college application process, so I had nobody walking through that journey with me. So when I received all the letters from different colleges and tried to make a decision, I was stuck. I did not know what to do. So I looked down at all the letters and decided to fast and pray for an answer from God. It was at the moment when I was physically and mentally weak. I just could not make a decision. The shadow of the insecurity monster was just over me because I was afraid whatever I choose, wherever I go, I'm gonna mess up again. And there's another sudden change that's gonna happen. And I was scared. But it was at this moment God spoke to me and said, "Hey, Gabby, listen to me. Wherever you go, I will meet you there." Oh, he won't meet me there. Wherever I go. So I followed my heart, and here I am again. Yes, he has provided a way out for me in every situation. Does not matter how difficult the situation was, God has always provided a way out for me. So 5 years, 5 different host families, 4 years, 3 schools, 2 countries, and a little home. Finally, at this moment, I'm willing to say that I'm not going to let the insecurity monster control wherever I go. Just like Ephesians 6:10 said, finally, I can put on the full armor of God so I can take a stand against the devil's scheme. So now, I'm putting on the full armor of God, waving my sword to the monster and saying, "So long, insecurity."